Hey guys, welcome to Blue Bear 76 Rants. I'd like to give a shout out to my good friends over at Team Cape and Cow. I have a few stories for you this week. First one I want to start off with is what I like to call my Stormtrooper helmet saga. It's quite an ordeal. It should have been something pretty simple. All I was trying to do was get one of those Black Series Stormtrooper helmets with the voice changer, electronic voice changer. And so I did my research, looked up reviews, was basically just jonesing for one forever. I wanted to get an affordable, bucket without spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars. At least something to get me started off with. I did some more research and I found out, the voice changer in the helmet itself isn't all that it's cracked up to be. However, I did find out if you can go to like eBay and just do a couple of quick searches, and there are several third-party companies out there that do make a better quality voice changer, but you will pay for that. I saw a few videos demonstrating the voice changers they offer. They are running around 99 bucks, so kind of keep that in mind. So I found a deal at a Toys R Us website. I ordered my Black Series Stormtrooper helmet. I was very excited, just skipping on cloud nine. My plan was, it's available, I'll order it early in the morning, go to work for a few hours, wait for my email confirmation from the store saying, hey, come on down and pick it up. No fuss, no muss. I'll have it with me in the car before I even get off work, and, sneak it into the house like probably quite a few Star Wars fans, where occasionally, you might have to smuggle in the random little trinket or, Star Wars Lucasfilm authentic merchandise. Slide it in, hopefully, the wifey doesn't notice, at least until it's been there for a few weeks, and then she can't quite place, hey, where did the Stormtrooper helmet come from? How long has it been there? How much did it cost? Those kind of embarrassing, burning questions a person can avoid if it's been laying around the house for a little while. That was kind of my game plan. That's what I was going with. So I did get the email from Toys R Us saying, hey, come on down, it's ready. Dude, I was on cloud nine. I was happy. Everything was right in the world. I was ready just to set Twitter on fire. Like, I got my Stormtrooper helmet, dude. It's awesome. It's Friday. I'm ready to go get my helmet, kick off the weekend. Do some more searches, see what kind of research I can find out more about any news, if there's anything out there, going on with Rogue One. So, perfect day. So I take the quick drive down to the Toys R Us here in Oklahoma City, out by the old, or formerly known, old Crossroads Mall. Kind of a little sketchy area, but hey, I'm a big guy. I'm not worried. It's the middle of the day, whatever. What's the worst that could happen? I know. I should have thought that, much less said it to myself. Bad things have always happened. It's kind of one of those sentences that if I ever want to get my brother-in-law riled up, I'll just say that to him and he'll freak out. And lo and behold, he's right, though, because the few times that has happened, and I'm with him, just horrible things just pop up out of nowhere. It's kind of a weird deal. So anyways, hey, Letterman has his coffee mug. That's mine. So I go to Toys R Us, and we'll just say that the employees there, the middle of the day, they weren't the A-stream or, varsity squad, anything like that. They were pretty bottom of the barrel. But I don't care. I have my printout. I'm prepared. I've already got my item paid for, obviously. I've got my confirmation code. It's printed out nice, color paper, the whole nine. I made sure that I had my name, my email address, my card information, the barcode, the order number, the item description, everything. So I go, and I go to the front desk and I talk to them. And they have a worker going back. They're like, oh, no problem, just wait right here. We'll go get your item. All right, no problem. I'm still happy. Things are still great in my world. She comes back, and she's like, is this it? And I look at her in bewilderment and, frankly, disgust over the fact that she didn't bring me a Stormtrooper helmet at all. No. She didn't bring me a Black Series helmet. what it was a Kylo Ren mask. And I'm like, lady, yes, it's a Star Wars toy. I get that. I know that's not your thing. I'm not going to punish you over that. I'm not going to beat you over the head with that. But clearly, the item that I picked out, the majority of the item is white. That thing is pure black. They look nothing alike. Why don't you read the order? So they get a manager, or I shouldn't say a manager, but probably a worker, that's, from what I found out later, is trying to work his way up to become a manager. So he has a little bit of responsibility. He's a good guy. And so he looks, he's messing with the register. At this point, I've been there for like a good solid 15-20 minutes. I'm like, dude, I'm in a hurry. I just want to get my helmet, get out of here, right back up the road to work, take my long lunch, to take care of business, and be out of your hair and be on my way and still be good and happy because I'm ready for the weekend. I'm ready for my Stormtrooper helmet. Where is it? I didn't just show up. You notified me. You said, hey, it's ready to go. It's here. So what's the deal? So some wonderful worker had mixed up my order, and I suppose somehow a customer came in and bought the last Stormtrooper helmet. Even though I did nothing wrong. I, got up early. I placed my order probably around 5:30 or before 6, something like that. Toys R Us was like, hey, come on down, it's ready to go. He's like, let me go look in the back. And he goes and disappears. So, business is dead. It's the middle of the day. There's me and maybe 5 other customers there in the whole store. Oh, and I forgot to mention this part. When I first walked into Toys R Us, I was waiting in line at the service desk. They're taking a while. I thought, skip this, I'll go look around the store, browse with the toys, look and see if there's anything for my kids for Christmas that they want. Kind of check some prices, and then of course, naturally, I'll take my sweet time and go to the Star Wars section and check out all the cool stuff they have there. So by this time, I've already burnt up probably 35-40 minutes before I go back to the service desk to pick up my item, and this whole debacle begins. So from there, the soon-to-be wannabe manager disappears in the back, and there's 2 cashiers. There's nothing to do. There's no benches there. There's no seats. I don't want to stand anymore. I'm tired. I'm getting kind of hot and aggravated. I'm like, find my stuff. I don't care who screwed up my order. Get me my helmet. Get me out of this building. That's all I want. And dude's gone. And so I literally go and sit on the end of the conveyor belt of like one checkout lane over. Clearly annoyed. Killing time, using my phone, looking on Twitter, just random stuff, looking on Facebook, doing the typical annoyed customer, sighs and noises and faces and all that, and the very, body language stuff. And the whole time, I'm just getting hotter and hotter under the collar. I'm like, guys, give me my stuff. I want to get out of this crap hole of the store. In fact, full disclaimer, this is normally not even the Toys R Us that I shop at. In fact, this is kind of on the crappy part of the side of town. The only reason why on earth I even accepted this place as a pickup location was when I went online to Toys R Us to order my Stormtrooper helmet. That was the only location that said, hey, you can do store pickup here. The other locations, for whatever reason, said no. I was kind of leery at that, because I kind of knew the reputation of the store. It's been just kind of run down and dumpy. And I thought, I really want this helmet. I'll give you all the benefit of the doubt this one time. I'll be in, I'll be out, it'll be quick. No fuss, no muss. Surely everything will be fine. And, so anyway, this dude's gone for probably 25-30 minutes. And the cash register girls, they're, chit-chatting to each other and talking to probably about 2 other customers. And one of them looks over at me eventually. He's like, did he not come back yet? And I said, no. This was after I got because I was fed up. I was like, screw this. I'm going through the shelves. I'm going to go find the stupid helmet. I don't care about their paperwork. I don't care about their clerical error. Whatever. They can straighten it up when I'm out of the parking lot and gone. As far as I'm concerned, I just want my helmet. That's all I want. So I go over there. I look and I look and look, and it's kind of a different section. I see some of the Black Series helmets and some of that equipment, and no Stormtrooper helmet. I was like, dude, you're killing, the beginning of my weekend. I had everything planned out. I did everything I was supposed to do, just fulfill my order. So she calls the manager guy back up there, and he doesn't come up yet because apparently him and another co-worker, a truck had just came into the back of the store. They're going through the semi, looking in the back, digging through boxes, seeing if they can find another one. Little did I know, certainly, that at that time the helmet was getting really scarce online. The Toys R Us in the metro area where I'm located at, they all ran out. They were out of stock. And so I waited probably maybe another 15-20 minutes. So I've done burned up basically an hour plus at the store. And excuse me. And so the wannabe manager comes back. He's like, look, do you want a full refund? I was like, no, I just want my helmet, dude. That's all I want. And he's like, we don't have any in the store. He's like, let me look on the computer real quick, see where we can find one. He's like, okay, I found one. We've got a helmet located in Arkansas. I can have the store there, put it on a truck, which I don't know, how their delivery routes work or why it's so weird. But I can put it on a truck from Arkansas, ship it down to our store somewhere in Texas. I want to say it was like Dallas, basically. And then from there, they'll put on a separate truck to ship it up here to Oklahoma City. He's like, he's like, to make this right, he's like, I'm sorry for all the hassle and inconvenience. I'll give you 50% off refund. He's like, I can give that to you right now. I was like, no, that's okay. I'll hold off on that. I'll collect my refund, or I'll collect the 50% off refund when you get me my helmet. And so he's like, it's like, how long is it, dude, how long is this going to take to get here? He's like, should be here Tuesday next Wednesday at the latest. We'll call you. We have your phone number. And so I was like, not happy. Things were kind of made somewhat better on, getting 50% knocked off on the price of the helmet, because for me, at least for my budget, the helmet was pretty pricey. I really did kind of stretch myself out on a limb just to get it, because that's how much I really wanted this thing. It was great. I want a Stormtrooper helmet. Pretty much ever since I started watching the show on YouTube, Hello Greedo. He has a Stormtrooper helmet, and I've admired it. And I know his is, basically one of those kits. It's not the same thing, but hey, this is a poor man's helmet. It looks like it's made of ABS plastics. The reviews were mixed on it, of course. But I just want to get something to tide me over. Hey, my other idea was I want to use this as part of my Halloween costume. And I had kind of a Star Wars gag themed costume in mind. And basically I just needed the helmet. I had all the other stuff here at home for my costume for work. And this year I'm going to go trick-or-treating with my kids, and a couple little Halloween carnivals around town and at our local comic store. They have an awesome Halloween costume contest I'm going to enter the kids in, because they have Star Wars themed costumes this year, which I'm completely stoked about, and I'll get into that here in a little bit. And I'll have my Star Wars themed costume, and we can just go as a group, and it'll be a great time. So anyways, weekend goes by, everything else is fine. Still bummed. Not happy. Just, you know, and it's killing me because I'm looking. If I got the stupid thing on Walmart.com's website, I could literally go and pick it up the same day. I was like, ugh. But, you know, the thing that anchored me was obviously, hey, I'm getting half of my money back. So, yeah, I can gripe some. Not 100%, but, you know, some. So that was half of my motivation. It kind of kept me where I was anchored at as far as the Toys R Us deal goes. Monday rolls through, Tuesday rolls through, Wednesday rolls through, no calls. And so I call the store at the end of Wednesday, and and I should also backtrack a little bit. This guy gave me his name and another manager's name. He's like, we'll both be on board. He's like, I'll tell all the cashiers to give you a refund when it comes in. You know, they'll know what the situation is with this helmet order, so everybody be on the same page. You know, just ask for me or ask for my manager. He gave me both their names. And of course, I wrote that down on my ticket order because, hey, I'm not going to trust my memory. This is too big of a deal to me. It's too much of a pain, too much of a hassle. So, anyways, I call the store. You know, the manager or the wannabe manager, I should say, that I talked to, he had just left and has gone for the day. I'm like, okay, I'll call back in the morning. So this is going to be Thursday morning. And I'm crossing my fingers, hoping, hey, maybe things will work out. Maybe it'll be right there. It'll be good to go. Meanwhile, another thing, every single day, probably about 2 or 3 times a day, minimum, I've been constantly just rechecking Toys R Us website. It keeps saying out of stock, out of stock. It gets worse. The helmet goes on sale. It was like $79.99. It goes down to $63.99, which, like, doesn't matter because the whole time the website, you know, online supplies, out of stock, out of stock. I even do a little chat window with one of their customer service support people and inquire about the item, and they said, you know, they looked it up and said, you know, it's a hot ticket item for us right now. We're having trouble getting more in. You know, it's not just this store, it's all the stores in your area just out. And it's running out fast, just, you know, several states away kind of deal. I'm like, okay. So, call him up Thursday, get a hold of the guy. And he's like, it's on a FedEx truck. The FedEx truck hasn't arrived yet. You know, I see that FedEx has an order. I don't know what the status of that order is yet. He's like, if it comes in this evening, I'll call you. So Thursday comes and goes, no call. Friday, I call again. You know, and I'm like, I'm just going to hound these people because I don't trust anyone or anything. I've been screwed over. You know, I just want my helmet. That's all I really want. I don't even want to waste my breath griping them out because ultimately, A, I'm trying to get my helmet. B, I want to get half of my money back. So I'm not going to screw with those two things as much as I want to. And believe me, I do. You know, I'm bitching and moaning to my friends at work and all that. And, you know, like, dude, I'm just bummed. This has got me. So anyways, you know, I called Friday, still getting nowhere. And so over the weekend, I go and my kids they actually just had their birthday parties. They were born basically, you know, 2 years and a day apart, literally. So they have a whole swamp of gift cards and different birthday money and stuff. And of course, like any kid, they just want to blow all their money on toys. So we hit probably like 5 or 6 different stores, and one of them was another Toys R Us in another location. Here's the killer: they have the helmet. But I should reframe that. They have their own helmet. And I'm like, okay, they have theirs. Maybe my store will have mine. I go back home, I look at the website, and they're like, no, Toys R Us online, according to that, it's out of stock. So I go and talk to their customer service chat on the website, and they're like, oh, it's out of stock. And I asked them point blank, Explain to me then, why does it say it's out of stock when I just came from one of your stores that has it, but the store that I'm dealing with doesn't have it? What's going on? Why are you telling me it's out of stock when it's in stock at a location? And of course, naturally, I get no response to that. They give me, one of their little copy pastes on the dance responses. That has nothing to do with my question at all, of course. So, I'm just like, this is crap, dude. I've waited too long. I paid a lot of money. I've had to do way too much work that I'm not getting paid to do, And like many things, you have to be your own advocate because nobody else, frankly, will care. It's life. It's one of those things. So anyways, so I call up Monday. And I said, get a hold of the same wannabe manager dude. He's like, my manager's on a conference call right now. He's going to call the store in Arkansas, see what day did they mail this thing out, where's it at, what's the status of it. He's like, right now I don't know what it is. I was like, look, I have a question for you. I know for a fact that the Toys R Us in Norman, Oklahoma has several of these helmets. What is it going to take for you to facilitate, getting one transferred from that store to your location so you can get me what I need? This has been going on long enough. And he's like, absolutely, I could do that. That's not a problem. Let me call up the store, make sure they still got one. And he's like, let me put you on hold. So I waited about 10 minutes. And, this time, I'm just worn out. Dude, I'm exhausted. I've been pissed off. I've been disappointed. I've been bummed out. I've been sad. The whole roller coaster of emotions over just trying to buy something off the freaking internet and pick it up at the store. It's not rocket science. I've done it a million times before. However, not with Toys R Us, and especially not with that location. Granted. So, he's like, yes, they do have it. What I'll do, he's like, I will drive. He's like, unfortunately, they won't give it to you. They will switch it out with me. He's like, what I'll do is I will go down there tonight after I get off work, pick it up, bring it back up here. It's like, that's fine, dude. I can pick it up from you in the morning. It's not a big deal. He's like, I'll be here all day. So, go to the store, show up. And I said, hey, about the refund. I have an idea. I just want to take my refund, but I need to get it split across 2 gift cards. You can use those for Christmas, for gifts, and all that stuff. The cash itself doesn't really mean all that much to me. Like, sure, we could do that. So, they do that. They go in the back. They get the helmet. I was like, holy crap. At this point, I feel like I had the Holy Grail, or like the little golden idol for Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark, waiting for the booby traps to go off. I finally have it. I have it in my hands. It's great. So I happily, just skipping with glee, leave the store, have my stuff, go back to work, close my office door, and I have a self-locking office door, no windows, nothing, so total privacy, awesome. My little fortress of solitude, it's great. And I put it together, and in fact, I have it right here, so I can show you guys. Here is the Black Series Stormtrooper helmet. I already installed the batteries tonight. And here's a little sound button that you're supposed to, makes that noise. And if you look inside the helmet, up in here, you will see this little plastic piece that's hanging down. This is your mic. It kind of adjusts. You literally, I found out, have to get that right on your mouth. Like, your mouth just has to be about making out with this thing for it to pick up your voice. Voice changer, again, it is not all it's cracked up to be, or what it even claims or not claims to do for you. It's there on paper, it's not practical. It doesn't really work. It doesn't do anything. I had several of my kids try on the helmet. They messed with it. My daughter was able to get something out of it, but it's way too much work. So, my advice, if you're really, hardcore into, I want to sound like Stormtrooper from A New Hope, stopping Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker and all that. You need to go out there, do some research, see who seems reputable. There are third-party companies out there. The ones I found on eBay, they look great. Their equipment looks great. They had some video of what it sounds like and everything. It sounds exactly like the movies. I'm telling you, absolutely. But again, those little third-party aftermarket voice changer kits, which you can install inside your helmet. You have to do a little bit of modding, but I think it could be done. Those do cost $100 US. So anyways, so I have my helmet. I have my prize, my trophy. And in typical fashion, going along with the same theme of just bad luck, just horrible. And I checked, it took like 11 days to get my helmet, which is ridiculous for something you paid for, and screw-ups like this should never happen, period. And so here's where the story gets just horrible, for me at least. Helmet doesn't fit. I don't mean, ooh, it's a little bit snug, or ooh, I could take, some of this bracing out of there, would not matter. I could strip the helmet completely bare with nothing inside of it. And the dimensions of it, it's just not meant for my big old head, basically. And so I'm crushed. I take it apart, I put it back in the box. I think about it, I'm like, do I want to wait? I'm not going to take it back to Toys R Us at all. Do I want to wait and return it later on somewhere else? Or do I just want to keep it? I decided to ultimately keep it, at the end of the day, I'm just going to put it on a shelf with my other Star Wars toys and gears and paraphernalia. My kids really love it. They love playing with it. It gets even worse. The helmet fits my wife perfectly. Now here's what's ironic about that. My wife does not care about Star Wars. She doesn't like action movies traditionally. Sci-fi movies, superhero movies. Basically, all guy movies or stuff that I personally love deeply. She couldn't give, two farts about, basically. If it's a chick flick, she's into it. If it's comedy, she's into it. If it's a romantic comedy, she's into it. Anything else that's outside that scope, it's dead to her. Fits her. The helmet fits her. So I'm like, there's no justice in the world. So, but there is a silver lining, though. It turns out that her own suggestion, oddly enough, that she's actually going to wear the Stormtrooper helmet for Halloween. And she's going to take my former costume idea and use my own Halloween costume. And is actually going to go, dress up when we go trick-or-treating, go to carnivals and whatnot around Monday night, basically. Now, I have two girls. The smallest one has loved Star Wars forever. Her favorite characters are Yoda and R2-D2, BB-8, Darth Vader. She's like, he's mean, but she thinks he's kind of cool. She loves to lightsaber duel. She fights violently and quick and fast and thinks it's hilarious. My older daughter, I try to sell her hard. Like, when I brought her home after she was born, the first movie she saw, the first week of being alive, was Star Wars. And it never took. My youngest one just took to it like a duck to water. Just loves it to death. And so, however, though, this past December, I did take both the girls to see The Force Awakens. And my oldest is like, I like Star Wars. And she starts asking me questions. I find out she knows all the characters' names of the old, the original trilogy and this new one. And she gets kind of slowly bitten by the Star Wars bug. She expresses things to me like she's annoyed by some of the boys in her class at elementary school because they don't know the names properly or they can't say them, and she knows them all. She starts rattling them off, names I didn't think she knew at all because she had zero interest. And basically she turns around and confesses that the new movie she's interested in, the old ones as she calls them, even though they're on Blu-ray, they look great and I love them and I worship them and all that. She's like, from here on out, I'll watch any of the new Star Wars movies. I think they're exciting and I love them. Obviously, I have 2 girls. The oldest one was also sold on it because of Rey being, the main hero. The funny thing is, physically, my oldest daughter looks a lot like Rey. She's, brown hair, brown eyes, long, thick hair. Just looks like a young version of Rey. And so, at the end of the day, my youngest one is dressing up for Halloween as an inflatable BB-8. So basically, she looks like a lawn ornament, and it's hilarious. And she looks amazing, and she's awesome in it. Because she's naturally short. She just now turned 10, but she's the size of a 6-year-old. And still kind of acts it. So she, fits into small clothes and costumes and outfits all the time. And loves every second of it. She's just a goofy, silly little girl. The oldest one, she's dressed up as Rey. I got her costume, got her the staff. Her mother referred to it as a stick, and my daughter's like, Mom, it is not a stick. It is Rey's staff. It is a weapon. Get with the program. And so, through The Force Awakens and, in the original movies, I have both my girls. They're in. They're hook, line, and sinker. So I'm like, yes, finally, house united. And then the wife is like, hey, I'm not into the movies, but I'll wear the helmet. And so tonight, I had the Stormtrooper helmet. Everyone, except me, of course, tried it on, and I adjusted the straps inside the helmet and made sure they could see out of it okay and everything. It was pretty hilarious. So, Maddie did a practice run on her costume. She looked online and did, her hair up exactly like Rey with the 3 buns and all that stuff. She asked me some questions about that. We also added some more features to her costume, like took some wrapping bandages for her arms instead of the sleeves that came with the costume. And last night I mentioned to Maddie, I was like, a thought occurred to me. One thing at the end of The Force Awakens that Rey has is a lightsaber. And it just so happens that I have one too that you could use with your costume. And more importantly, it's the right color. So, my oldest, her eyes just lit up. And she's like, oh, that would be so awesome. Like, look, here's what we'll do. We'll build you a strap for your staff. You can put on your back. When we go to the comic store for the costume contest, you can have that lightsaber. Between you and an inflatable little BB-8 sister, y'all should win something. So, last night, we took the kids to church. And while they were there, me and my wife ran around town and did some errands. And we ended up going to like Walmart and Spirit of Halloween costume stores, a big mega store with every kind of prop and Halloween costume accessory and lots of just silly stuff that I'd love just to have around the house just to play with, like swords and shields and helmets and all kinds of great stuff. And so I thought, Maybe I can find one of those like adult Stormtrooper helmets that are, you know, already put together. It's bigger and all that stuff. They were sold out of those. However, I did find a Darth Vader mask. So, you know, official Disney plastic Darth Vader mask. But I tried that on. I tried the Kylo Ren mask on. I tried a cheaper Stormtrooper mask, and I found out the Darth Vader, for me, was physically the most comfortable one. And so, my costume is this. I have a T-shirt. Let me show you some of the bits of my costume, and I'll put it on real quick. My ideal is Vader, or vacationing Vader. Like, you know, he's had a hard life and he's off to some pleasure planet like Hawaii, basically. So anyways, I got this I don't know if you can see this very well. Little Stormtrooper t-shirt of them in the break room, and it says Stormtroopers take breaks too. So I'm going to wear that. I got a Hawaiian shirt. So I'm going to wear this. And oh, by the way, tomorrow at work we have a costume contest. So naturally I want to enter, just to give it a try. I also have I went and bought a black cape. So it has a hood on it. It's not a big deal. You know, I can hide it. Oh dear. But we'll do that. Anywho, just kind of leave that as is for right now. And you know, what's a vacation without some flowery lays? Let me get my Vader mask on. It's kind of funny. So we have that too, and here's the icing on top of the cake. Vader needs, obviously, a vacationing hat. So, I'm feeling pretty good about my costume, I gotta say. Not too bad. Took something that was, you know, really, truly a deep bummer for me, disappointment. Obviously in the illustrious Stormtrooper helmet. Honestly, I would highly recommend, if you're just a casual fan or a kid, as long as your head's not huge, go out and get one. These are really great. It looks great. It truly does. It truly does bum me out that I just can't use it. But anyways, so we have, you know, I am really pumped though. I'm excited. First year ever Halloween, we had the entire family finally, all dressing up in Star Wars costumes. Great. And so I could be thrilled more. Now, continuing on this theme of, you know, disasters here and there. It was all industrious, and for this week, I thought, let's grab some pumpkins. We want to make some jack-o'-lanterns for me and the kids. And I really want to do, well, I'll show you real quick. Excuse the technical difficulties, I apologize. I wanted to do a BB-8 jack-o'-lantern, and that was absolutely disastrous. So this is what I end up doing at the last possible second. So anyways, I've had, me and my oldest, we've had a very long night working on our jack-o'-lanterns. She actually tried to make, this was totally on her own. I didn't know anything about it until I saw the drawing. She took a picture off the internet and just traced it onto some notebook paper. She was trying to make a Darth Vader jack-o'-lantern, but it just didn't work out, so she's kind of bummed. So we're going to go get some more pumpkins tomorrow and try some other things with them. But, at least I got my traditional jack-o'-lantern out there on the porch. Put a candle in it, lit it, took a few pictures. It looks great. And so, I'll post a picture of the jack-o'-lantern we have right now on Twitter later on after this video. One thing, like I mentioned earlier, the girls had their birthday, kind of a big deal. We had a skating party. It was great. It was the best party for the kids. It looked like there for a while, a third of the guests weren't going to show or couldn't, and everybody, their cousin and their dog and their mailman showed up, which was fine. Biggest turnout we've ever had. So very exciting. It was nice. It was at the skating rink. No fuss, no mess at home. Worth the money. Totally relaxed. Everything just happened, without a hitch. It was great. So I couldn't be more pleased. I wanted to show off real quick a few of some of the presents that my youngest got. Again, like I said, she's hardcore Star Wars fan. Asked me questions, asked me stuff like, how old is Yoda? Is Yoda still alive? It was great, since she's always been a tiny kid, her nickname for Yoda was Baby Yoda, because anything that's shorter than her is absolutely fascinating and just wonderful and magical, because she's a, short, itty-bitty little tiny kid. So she, Yoda was her first love. Then came R2-D2, which she can't, to this day, she still can't say his name correctly. She calls him something like RTV2 or something really weird. Something with, the letters TV injected in there, in the middle. Now, she went bananas when we went to the movies and saw The Force Awakens. Like every other little kid, obviously, she fell in love with BB-8. BB-8 this, BB-8 that. She likes BB-8 pictures, BB-8 shirts. I'm surprised she didn't have a BB-8 cake, honestly. Instead, she had a Shopkins cake. So, anyways, I just want to show some of the little animals that she got. The first item I'm going to show was actually from Christmas last year. This is the little talking Yoda. It's totally adorable. And if I could get him to talk, it'd be even greater.
When 900 years old, you reach Earth's you will not.
That's true. She sleeps with Baby Yoda a lot. She loves Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda's awesome. She also got this for her birthday. Little plush R2-D2. His head turns, but I really wouldn't mess with it. Got some hard plastic right here on the top and the bottom, so I'm kind of afraid the dome, if you mess with it very much, will pop off. The legs don't really spin, but they're kind of flexible. But I mean, they do make it where, he will sit up properly, so that's great. And then of course she got her own little BB-8. Now his head does spin quite freely. He even's got his little antennas. The whole nine is very soft, made out of the same shiny material as the R2-D2. So that was fantastic. Really, that's about all the news I have for you. Let me look at my notes. Yeah, so, again, sad, tragic story for me. One other, item I want to put out there. I did started doing some research on, hey, what do people with big heads do that want a Stormtrooper helmet? And so, I looked at some of the forums for, I believe it's like whitearmor.net, which is, part of the 501st, the crew that basically makes recommendations, helps other members and other people who wants to join their organization as far as creating their own armor or getting in touch with, people who can craft it and it'll be according to specs and everything. So, I've made initial contact with a guy down in Texas that makes armor for people who are big and tall. And then also there's another group up in Canada. Both of these, depending upon what your needs are physically, are you short, are you tall, are you big, are you skinny, whatever, Not every suit, unlike the movies, or at least back in the 70s, every suit's going to be universal fit, So, whenever you do reach out and inquire about, hey, how much does the suit of armor cost? What's the process? What's involved? It will cost you a boatload of money. I would say, go online. If you find a dealer that you like, do your due diligence, because you're going to be spending a ton of cash. You need to hear and read all the good, bad, and ugly about each dealer, if you will. There's a lot of shadiness out there. You don't want to get disappointed, get ripped off. You're spending hundreds of dollars, sometimes more, depending upon how detailed, how fancy, you want to get with it all. So the two guys I contacted, they have different waiting lists. I mean, they're on back order. So they've been very helpful, and I told them, what my head measurements were. Just used basically just measuring tape, and tell me, hey, I have a really hard time trying to find it. So for the helmets, if you're just interested in getting the helmet that looks great, expect to pay at least $200 on up. The $200 will be the lowest dollar amount you'll find. Again, I encourage everybody, this is not an impulse shopping thing. If you're hardcore and you want to get armor, or if you just want to get a helmet like I do, do as much research as you can. Reach out, talk to the folks over the 501st. They'll at least point you in the right direction. So I'm just now beginning my journey on that myself. I'm pretty excited. Eventually, I do want to obviously have my own Stormtrooper helmet, which I'm sure, once I find out what's right for me, I'll have to save up money for a while and then speak nothing about it to my wife. Obviously, it will disappear one day. The old Black Series helmet here. This fella, he'll have a mysterious and highly more advanced, fancy-looking twin one day. So, anywho, that is, all I have for you this week. And if anything occurs, I'll let everybody know. Thank you so much for your time, and talk to you soon. Oh, also, if you want to contact me, you can find me on Twitter, just underneath BlueBear76, or I should have listed on my channel, I'll have to double check, I should have a Gmail address listed there. It should just be bluebear76@gmail.com. Anyways, thank you for your time, and have a good evening. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.